Delete social media.
This is just a short little rant. Delete social media. I'm not talking WhatsApp, Snapchat, etc. I'm talking TikTok, Instagram.
Not because your FYP is actually harming you. For all I know, you might have the best FYP ever, but because your brain deserves better than to be force-fed information through a straw that connects directly to your frontal lobe, while also giving your dopamine receptors a little tickle.
Isn't Reddit kinda the same? I'd give you're free of all evil just yet.
I did this and it has helped me immensely. I'm still not where I want to be, but it's a start.
He states on social media.
I absolutely despise Instagram and TikTok. Also delete all scrolling apps from your phone so you are forced to be bored.
Reddit 2.
Deleted Instagram the other day. Again, it's so sad actually how addictive that app is. I have to fight the urge to re-download it every hour.
Funny enough, I actually made an Insta profile last week after not having used it since like 2012. I only use Reddit and X, but since blocking people doesn't help curate your timeline anymore, I've contemplated deleting that too.
I found a weird but effective way to externalize my inner critic in a healthy way.
That little voice in your head that says you're not doing enough or why even try. Yet I've been trying to deal with that one for years.
At some point, I realized trying to silence it didn't work. The more I ignored it, the louder it got.
So I started doing something kind of weird but useful. I did give it a name, a voice, even a backstory.
Sometimes I write out conversations between the voice and a more rational version of myself. Other times, I use a journaling app or an AI chat to play out both sides of the dialogue.
One I use often called Nectar AI made that surprisingly easy. I just let the thoughts flow
and work through them.
Like a back and forth, doing this helped me pause more instead of spiraling, spot old patterns faster, and practice responding to my critic instead of reacting automatically. I'm curious, have any of you tried something similar? Like talking back to your inner critic, reframing it, or giving it a persona? Would love to hear what's worked for others.
So you accidentally self-created an existing coaching technique called naming your gremlins. You give your negative inner critic a name and visual appearance, and then directly have a conversation with them when they start spreading those thoughts in your mind. It's incredibly effective for a lot of individuals, and I think it's awesome that you discovered it intuitively.
I've noticed that people are posting here and mention Nectar AI as if it was something that helped them. I just googled it, build the perfect AI girlfriend. What the?
I think someone's trying to not so sneakily advertise their product in the subreddit.
Family parts theory. Not sure, but sounds similar.
Sounds exciting.
I started visualizing it using an angel/devil on your shoulders metaphor. Just as they're telling you to do good/bad things, they're also telling you how to feel about yourself. The devil is steamrolling the conversation, and it's up to me to let the angel get a word in. The devil is also a massive.
And I dunno why I even pay attention to him. Person shrugging.
Love this, I do the same. My dad was particularly hard on me growing up, and I can often hear his voice plus the emotions that come with that voice when I feel like I'm failing or not doing enough. So I have named that inner voice my inner insert dad's name here asterisk. It has really helped me detach from the negative self-talk before I begin to spiral.
This is a thought diffusion technique often used in therapy. If you have the means, see a therapist. They have other neat things that can be helpful too.
Interesting idea.
I believe that as long as it works for you and it helps you to motivate yourself to keep improving yourself consistently over a long period of time, preferably forever, it is exactly the method you need. It is important, however, that you find a way to motivate yourself without outside encouragement. You need to be able to go on even if someone told you that your method is. For example, take a minute to reflect on yourself if you can do that.
Your past self is actively sabotaging your future.
Every comfort zone you built yesterday becomes today's prison. Every excuse you accepted last month becomes this month's limitation. Every compromise you made to avoid discomfort is now the exact thing preventing your growth.
You train yourself to quit when things get hard.
You conditioned yourself to choose the easier path.
You programmed yourself to avoid anything that requires sustained effort.
Now you wonder why nothing changes. The version of you from 6 months ago made decisions that locked you into patterns you're living today.
That person chose comfort over capability, convenience over.
Growth, immediate relief over long-term transformation. Now you're paying the compound interest on their weakness. Your brain remembers every time you gave up. It remembers every excuse you accepted. It remembers every moment you chose the familiar over the beneficial. This data becomes your default operating system. Breaking these patterns requires betraying the person you've been. You have to disappoint your past self's expectations. You have to refuse to honor the limitations they accepted. You have to become unreliable to your own history of quitting. Most people stay trapped because they remain loyal to outdated
versions of themselves.
They protect patterns that served them when they were weaker, smaller, more afraid.
They defend limitations they developed when they knew less and wanted less.
I don't know if you've heard about what you chose instead, but it dissects exactly how people become prisoners of their own psychological architecture. How every small surrender compounds into a life of systematic self-sabotage. Your future self is counting on you to abandon everything your past self built for protection.
Those safety nets became your ceiling.
Those comfort zones became your cage.
Stop being loyal to the person who
Created the problems you are trying to solve. Start betraying every pattern that keeps you small.
I'm tired of pretending life is like this.
I've been working so hard on trying to grow and improve myself, but everywhere I look, I keep seeing people say things like friends come and go, just accept it. And honestly, I can't. I don't know how. That kind of thinking just feels really painful and hollow to me. I'm tired of pretending that it's okay for people to drift away like it doesn't matter. It does matter to me. It hurts. And the more I hear that this is just how life works, the more I feel like I don't want to be around anyone at all. If friendships are only temporary, if people are only going to come and go, then maybe it's easier to just avoid them altogether. I used to believe that real friends stuck with you for life. That's what I was taught. Now I'm wondering if that was ever true.
Friends drifting apart isn't your choice. They get to choose who they are and who they spend their time with. That realization can help the pain of friendships ending because it's out of your control. All you can decide to do is decide who you are as a person and who you want to spend time on. You can avoid friendships if you hate the temporary part, but you would then be missing out on friendships and happiness. Again, in my opinion, it goes back to your choice of who you want to spend your own time on interacting with. Tomorrow is a different set of time you spend your time on.
I see you, I hear you, I relate, and it really does suck. It's incredibly painful. The sad fact is that we live in a very shallow, very superficial world right now. Everything, including friendship, is considered by most to be temporary, disposable. You create your own meaning though. Lower your expectations of others to zero and focus on becoming the kind of person you are proud to be. There is love out there. It's just that you have to create it within yourself, for yourself, first.
This really struck me. I've wrestled with that same ache, the sense that relationships are supposed to last, and that if they don't, something's broken. But I've come to believe that what hurts most isn't always the drifting itself, it's the idea that we weren't supposed to drift. That if the friendship were real, it would have stayed. I used to think that too. I ended up writing a book that includes a chapter about this, not just friendships, but the idea of who gets to be called a friend, and how much of it felt more performative than personal. That chapter surprised me as I wrote it. I realized I'd spent decades keeping up connections.
As I thought I was supposed to know because they felt nourishing or mutual, and that applied to work, personal life, even family. What's helped me most has been letting go of the idea that meaning only comes from a few long-term relationships. Some of the richest human moments I've had lately have come from brief conversations with strangers, not small talk, but real exchanges with no expectation of follow-up. They remind me I'm still here, still capable of connection, still human, and sometimes they felt more grounding than the old friendships I tried too hard to hold on to. Appreciate you putting this out.
It's a vulnerable one and you're not alone in it. Try to focus more on the beauty of the time you and your friends spent together rather than lament that the time is over, and take solace in the knowledge that the future only holds more. It's like getting a sunburn.
Do you stay inside forever?
Or do you wait until the burn heals and buy some sunscreen?
Yep, sometimes we want people to stay and they simply don't want to. It's okay, fam, cry it out. Losing relationships definitely hit different.
Hey, look, forget other people for now. Look in the mirror. The most important person in your life, who cares about you unconditionally, is you. Don't let others infiltrate your emotions. You can do this. This day will get better, believe it.
I don't know how old you are, but I'm 39 and I have one friend from primary school and one friend who was my neighbor in high school. The rest I've been extremely lucky and they are all my husband's friends. We seem to be starting a new friendship with a couple whose kids play with other kids from parents in the friends group. It's possible to make new friends, but you need to work at it and be lucky in the sense they want to be friends. My friend who is my neighbor met her friend 12-13 years ago at a Zumba class and they just clicked. Friendships can last and you can make new friends. Now I feel.
That wasn't good enough for them.
How to ban myself from Uber Eats.
I don't have the discipline to just not use it. I delete the app just to reinstall it over and over again. I have done everything possible to try to get them to ban me. Chargebacks third-party apps, emailing them directly, etc. Does anyone know of a surefire way to get my account banned?
Therapy, especially considering you've treated drivers poorly just to try and get banned. Big yikes.
This doesn't solve your problems. It's a band-aid fix. I suggest talking to a therapist.
This doesn't solve the problem. You're just going to make a new account later. What you need to do is solve the root of problem. Why are you ordering so much takeout? Are you too tired to cook? Too lazy? You need to start solving those issues or you're going to auto-push yourself back to DoorDash or some other app. Remove your cards from the account. Lock your cards. Make it difficult for yourself so you have moments to catch yourself. Furthermore, either getting new cards to your numbers and locking them away. Make it as difficult as you can for yourself. Remind yourself daily through journaling. Actually write it off.
How y'all not ordered DoorDash? Start finding cheap and quick meals you can cook at home, even if it's just frozen pizzas or something else. Having something that's low effort and quick will make it easier for you to get over the hoop of not wanting to cook. It will be easier, quicker to cook grilled cheese and tomato soup than get DoorDash. There are pasta dishes with 5 ingredients: beef, pasta, spinach, pasta sauce, onion, garlic plus spices that take 20 minutes to make and can be cooked in a single pan for limited cleanup. Also, eating more and keeping yourself more full will help as well, so foods high in fiber is important, and drinking more water, so it's important to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. Furthermore, you need energy, so getting proper rest also helps.
For a tip, I would ask the delivery person to please help get me banned by reporting me. With enough reports, y'all get banned.
This post reads like someone in a burning building asking how to turn the AC back on. You're not a failure for not having the discipline. You're suffering from a mental health problem. OCD, ADHD, who knows? Either way, you need to work with a doctor or therapist to address your compulsions and get better. Maybe on chat request an agent. Then waste their time. Ask them if you'll gain as many calories putting the food in your butt than in your mouth. Ask them for recommendations, and if they say anything right back that's disgusting.
Every time you're about to order it, just don't.
You could probably keep lying and saying your food is missing every time you order. Eventually they'll ban you and y'all get some free meals, probably, haha.